Hello everyone, welcome to October. It is officially spooky season. Today I'm going to be making these little cute air dried clay ghosts. If you want to see how I did it, then carry on watching. Starting off by taking some hobby clay, air dry clay. This one's from Tiger, but you can also get it at Hobbycraft, wherever. I've got some Fimo tools and I've got a little rolling pin. This one is made for Fimo, so it's nice and non-stick. You're going to need lots of paper down and also some vessels for draping the ghost clay over. Chris made me this little ghosty bottle with a little cat toy ball in it. It was actually fantastic. What's going on here? Anyway, I'm dividing up the clay. Chris is also doing these with me, but he didn't want to show his lovely face, and that's absolutely fine. Then I'm rolling it out nice and flat. This is so it drapes well, but also so the clay can dry in a good amount of time. Next, I'm cutting the clay into a circle. This is so the ghost will stand up when it's dry. Then I just ran the rolling pin on the edges just to make it a little bit more cloth-like ghosty sheet. Then we draped it on, and then I just spent some time finagling, making sure everything looked nice and that my ghost had some aesthetically pleasing folds. Then I trimmed up the hem, and using a tool I indented where I wanted the eyes to go. And here they are, ready to dry. This is mine and Chris's. We also found that we had quite a lot of clay left over and I didn't want to waste it, so I made one more and I thought I could do one that was a little bit taller. So that's me rolling it all out, and then Chris has provided me with a bottle of Bucks Fizz. We just trimmed it up, did the folds, put the eyes in, and then we felt something was missing, so we decided that a little hat would be just the ticket. At first I was thinking fez, but then Chris came up with the best idea of doing a beret. Just using a little bit of water, I'm sticking on that hat, and then I'm smoothing out any little bits that are a little bit pulled or ripped, or I dented it with my nail. I'm doing that on all three of the ghosties. Next I decided that my original ghostie looked a little bit plain, so I thought I would make her a little bow. Once that was all stuck on, I was ready to leave these overnight. They need to be pretty dry. We kept ours in the bath because we didn't trust the cats around the air dry clay. Catch you tomorrow. It's the next day and we're ready to paint. So I've got myself some acrylics out, I've got myself some paper, and I bought this from the works, just some cheap white paint and some clear PVA glue. So we're going to start with this one. You can see it's nice and dry. It was nerve-wracking taking this out, I'm not going to lie, but it came out nice and smoothly. I'm going to get some paint out and then I'm just going to do a coat all over it. Once that one was done, I moved on to the other ghosties. So we're just putting a nice smooth layer on. And the next one, this one I had to use quite a bit of paint for because he was quite large. And then something I did off camera was I made this tiny little ghost cat because I had a little bit of clay and I thought that would be extremely cute. Extremely cute. Once they were dry, we could get on the details. I chose this red for the hat and bow, and then also a little bit of Payne's grey for the eyes. I didn't want it to be like super black. I don't know why, I just felt like it would be too much staring into the abyss of the eyeballs. You are going to see some cracking faces from me throughout this. This is me putting a tiny little nose and eye on the cat. Look how cute. And then I'm just doing that on Chris's ghost. Chris's ghost was only having eyes and a little mouth and then Payne's grey, no other embellishments. Then I moved on to mine. I put in some nice big eyes and then I decided to give her a little bit of liner, a little glam. How cute. Rinse and repeat for Boyo here. I thought it would be cute to do some little flowers on the ghost with the bow, so I went in with a little bit of pink and yellow and I just sort of painted those in freehand, and then I also popped on some leaves as well because I thought it would sort of tie it all in together. I do realise I've gendered my ghost. They can be whatever they want, there's no judgment here. The next ghost, I decided pretty early on that this ghost was going to be French, probably because of the beret. I am stereotyping here, so I thought I would give him a little hidden baguette because all French people should have a baguette if they're doing it right. And then I also did a tiny little croissant, and then I gave him a little twiddly moustache. Gorge. Because they're not cute enough, I'm going to give him some blusher. Taking a red aquarelle pencil, I'm just popping a little bit on the back of my hand mixed with some water and using my finger just to dab it on, just like applying makeup yourself. I also ended up putting freckles on her, but I did not film that, but I just felt they were needed. I gave the French ghost some blusher also. Now the painting's done, we have one more phase to go. Let's do it. The last phase is sealing in the paint. So I've got a little bit of clear PVA and I'm just putting a lovely thick layer all over it. I am being quite careful not to disrupt any of the paint because although I used acrylics for the colours, obviously the base was still like a water-based regular poster paint. So just being a little bit careful for that. Also being a little bit careful on a blush where we used a watercolour pencil. This was actually a really satisfying process. I definitely recommend it. It was quite meditative and zen. Now for the squeaky bum time, taking them out of their moulds. The one Chris made for me came out pretty easily, to be honest. I was very happy and surprised by that. This one was a bit tougher and I've got to say I did have a big sigh of relief when it finally popped off. Right, let's see these ghosties in all their glory. These were so fun to make. If you like this, then please like and subscribe. I make videos nearly every week and I hope to see you around. Happy spooky season!